In this video, I want to discuss the origin, insertion, and action of the gluteus maximus muscle. This is the only one of the gluteal rotators you need to know the origin, insertion, and action on. So we need to begin with a quick review of some osteology. If we find here the coxal bone, erase that. We have the sacrum here. Here we have the femur. Now you'll find a portion right here, the linea aspera, coming up. This is commonly known by this point, especially on one side of it, as the gluteal tuberosity. You see the head of the femur, the greater trochanter, and that. On this medial side, we call this the gluteal tuberosity. Now, about that place, rather laterally, you will find what is called the linea aspera, or the iliotibial tract on the lateral side, coming down from that portion of the tensor fascia latae muscle, generates a strip of collagenous tissue known as the iliotibial tract, or IT band. Now, when we hit that area, so I'm going to begin ourselves with the gluteus maximus, drawing it on. Gluteus maximus has the origin, and I'm going to draw the origins in red, the iliac crest, and it's usually from this portion of iliac crest. And then it will also arise from the sacrum and the coccyx. So a very broad series of origin for a very large, massive muscle. And then it inserts itself on the gluteal tuberosity. Here. So if I were to take it in orange or in green here, I'm going to draw it in green and take this large muscle and stick it on here. It's a very large muscle group. And it may extend backwards behind there as it covers up most of the buttocks. Very large, very powerful gluteal rotator. So if I take this and cover up the bony anatomy with it, we have a pretty good idea of where this guy sits. And this is one you guys know very well. It's a muscle you've probably known since you were a child by name. One of the few that we know a scientific name for, and we, as we grow up using it, is in common vernacular. So it's a very rare muscle. In that case, that we use it very commonly, even from childhood. First muscle you probably learned next to the biceps, and you only knew it by a more common name as the biceps, not biceps brachii. Now, once we have the gluteus maximus coming in, this is one that will create extension of the femur, but it will, of the thigh bone, but it also laterally rotates the thigh. This is a lateral rotator. Lateral rotation. And so this can be difficult to get lateral rotation, medial rotation in. But if you have an idea of its attachment, origin, insertion, and action, the gluteus maximus muscle. And this concludes my video on the gluteus maximus.